What if the only way to save a man's life was to risk taking it with your own hands? Before this night ends, a single decision inside this lonely cabin will change everything. Backhand index pointing right, like this video and subscribe to Western Storyverse for powerful Western stories that stay with you forever. The storm had already swallowed the mountains when they dragged him inside. His boots left a dark trail across the cabin floor, and with every step, hope seemed to drain away. The fire crackled in the stone hearth, but its warmth couldn't chase the fear that filled the room. Emily dropped to her knees beside the table. He was barely breathing. Blood soaked through his shirt, spreading slowly, quietly, like time slipping away. "He won't last till morning," Grandma Ruth said softly, lifting the lantern higher. Her voice was calm, but her eyes betrayed her. Aiden, the young boy, stood frozen near the chair. He had never seen a man this close to death before. His hands shook as he whispered, "Is he going to die?" Emily didn't answer. She pressed her ear to the man's chest. His heartbeat was weak, uneven. Something was wrong. Something deep. "He was shot," Emily said. "The bullet's still inside." Grandma Ruth nodded once. "Then it's killing him every second it stays there." Emily stood up slowly. Her hands were steady, but her heart wasn't. "I can get it out." The room fell silent. Aiden looked at her in disbelief. "You're not a doctor." "No," Emily said quietly. "But I've watched you do it. And I know where the heart is." Grandma Ruth studied her granddaughter's face. She saw fear there. But more than fear, she saw resolve. "If you do this," Grandma Ruth said, "there's no turning back." Emily walked to the table where an old knife lay. Its blade caught the firelight. She picked it up. Outside, the wind howled like it knew what was about to happen. They laid him flat on the table. Emily cleaned the blade with shaking hands, then steadied herself. She took a deep breath and placed her palm on his chest. "Stay with me," she whispered, though she didn't know his name. Aiden turned away, unable to watch. Grandma Ruth stepped closer, holding the lantern high so the light wouldn't fail them. Emily closed her eyes for one brief moment. Then she began. Her hands moved carefully, slowly. Every second felt like an hour. The fire popped loudly, making her flinch, but she didn't stop. The man groaned softly. "He's alive," Aiden whispered. "Yes," Grandma Ruth said. "And he's fighting." Emily's arms ached. Sweat rolled down her face. Her heart pounded so hard she feared it would betray her. Then. There. Something hard. Her breath caught. "I found it." With one final, careful motion, she pulled the bullet free. It hit the table with a dull metallic sound. For a moment, no one breathed. Then the man gasped. A deep, desperate breath. Aiden's eyes widened. He did it. He breathed. Emily collapsed back, tears filling her eyes. She hadn't realized she was crying until her hands began to shake uncontrollably. Grandma Ruth placed a hand on her shoulder. "You saved him." But Emily wasn't sure. Because survival tonight didn't mean safety tomorrow. Hours passed. The storm faded into silence. The man still lived, but he did not wake. Emily sat beside him, refusing to leave. Dawn's first light crept through the cracks in the wooden walls. Then. His fingers moved. Emily leaned forward. "Can you hear me?" His eyes opened slowly. Confused. Weak. Afraid. "You're safe," Emily said quickly. "You're in our cabin." He tried to speak, but pain stopped him. Grandma Ruth stepped forward. "Rest. You're alive because she didn't give up." The man looked at Emily. And in that moment, something passed between them, gratitude, curiosity, and a story untold. But none of them knew yet. This stranger's past would soon come knocking at their door. She saved his life. But what followed would test her courage far more than the blade ever did. The man woke screaming. Emily rushed to his side as he thrashed weakly, eyes wild with fear. "Easy," she said softly. "You're safe." He froze. Slowly, his breathing steadied. "What happened?" he whispered. "You were shot," Grandma Ruth said. "And left to die." He closed his eyes. "They found me?" Emily shook her head. "No. But they might." That was when the truth began to surface. His name was Thomas Hale. A former lawman. And a hunted one. "They want me dead," Thomas said quietly. "Because I wouldn't look away." Emily felt a chill. "Who?" "A gang that owns this valley," he answered. "And they don't forgive." Aiden's face turned pale. "They'll come here." Thomas nodded. "And when they do, they won't knock." That night, hoofbeats echoed in the distance. Emily heard them first. Then Grandma Ruth. Then Aiden. 3 riders stopped outside the cabin. A voice called out. "We know you're in there, Hale." Thomas tried to rise, but collapsed. Emily stepped forward before fear could stop her. "This is our land," she called out. "You're not welcome." Silence. Then laughter. "We'll be back," the voice said. "And next time, we burn it down." The riders left. But the threat stayed. They knew they couldn't remain. At dawn, they packed what little they had. Thomas leaned heavily on Emily as they left the cabin, the place where his life had been returned to him. As they rode toward the horizon, Emily looked back once. She had cut into a stranger's chest to save him. Now she was walking into danger because of him. And yet, she didn't regret it. Some nights change you forever. This was one of them. Backhand index pointing right. Subscribe to Western Storyverse. Backhand index pointing right. Like and share. Backhand index pointing right. Comment what you think happens next.